ready to rumble.
A very happy Wednesday afternoon to you. It is the IU Indy Coaches Show here on the ISC Sports Network. As always, we come to you from Back Nine Golf Entertainment, just southwest of downtown Indianapolis and just south of the IU Indianapolis campus. We're in that kind of transition period where the conference sports that are in the fall, like soccer and volleyball, are just kind of hitting the home stretch. Volleyball is actually just shy of the midway moment of the season, while basketball is getting ready. So we'll talk to both of those sports coming up today. Joining us now is the volleyball coach at IU Indy and Andrew Kroger. His team just off a weekend sweep of Robert Morris, getting ready to head to Youngstown State coming up this weekend. So, Coach, a great time to have you back on the show for a second time after a pair of wins against Robert Morris. Overall, how you doing today?
Doing well. I mean, I think you're always a little bit better after a couple of wins. We've played well at different times this season, and it paid off in a couple of wins this weekend.
Well, you got to experience kind of both. On Friday night, you had to slug one out that was a 5-setter. On Saturday afternoon, you had a sprint. You were out of there in 75 minutes in straight sets. Overall, what worked well for you against RMU this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think our offense did very well throughout the weekend, and so we were able to score well. I think we were even more balanced than we have been at other times this season. And then I think the big difference was on Saturday, after a day of kind of seeing what Robert Morris's offense was doing, our defense was able, both our block and our floor defense was able to kind of step up. And when you've got the offense and the defense both going, you see that kind of result.
Something that was unique on Saturday, and again, that's something I don't think you plan. It just kind of happened that way, and I'm sure it's not really the way you wanted to do it. You played 7. And again, for those that don't follow the sport that much, you start 6. You have a libero that can come in and out, and those were the 7 that played in the match on Saturday. Part of it is you swept them so quickly. That was part of the story, but still, it certainly caught my attention to something I don't think I've seen at the college level before. How often does something like that happen?
Yeah, I think we're really lucky to have a group of outside hitters that are really good 6-rotation players. And part of that is kind of our what our recruiting philosophy is now and what it is going forward. We might not get the 6'4" bangers that Purdue's getting, but we try to get very well-rounded volleyball players that can do everything well. And when you have that, you don't need different people to come in the back row. And I think it paid off. And the great part about it is when that's going well, everybody stays in rhythm. And, it can produce some good results.
Well, one of the players, and certainly athleticism, the setter position has gotten, frankly, taller and more athletic over the years. And Grace Perica may be one of the best athletes you have on your team. And, of course, a coach's kid. You and I were talking about kind of the family dynamic off air. Her mom has won multiple state championships at Providence. What sort of season has Gracie had for you as a sophomore?
Yeah, it's been great. She does so many things well for us. One of the things that is kind of special about her that our opponents don't see a ton in the gym is one of the things we've worked on a lot is our passing. Our passing is getting better, but it's still okay. And if you look at our team's numbers, usually if you say our passing's okay, then there's issues with, hey, well, you can't set your middles enough. We're just passing okay, and Grace is still able to find our middles, and both of them are putting up some great numbers. And so I think she does a ton of things for us, but I think one of the things that teams are just not used to seeing is, hey, even on like when we just pass the ball okay, we're running offense from the 10-foot line, she's still able to do a really, really good job of finding our 2 middles.
For the most part, with this being year number 2, a lot of the players are players that you've had for the course of the last couple of years. One of the exceptions, though, is Elle Patterson, a local product who went out to the West Coast and then decided to come back home. I think she's the only player that has literally played in every set for you this year. What has Elle meant to your team?
Yeah, as we go back and talk about outside hitters that can do everything well, that is Elle, right? There's some attackers in our conference that jump higher and hit harder. There's some that might pass a little bit better, but she does everything at a very high level. And so it just provides a real sense of stability for our team that, like, hey, there's going to be matches, and there have been matches when Elle has went off and got a bunch of kills and hit for a very high percentage. But she's always going to be reliable and do her job very well, even on what is a bad day for her. And so that's been very, very valuable for us.
It was tremendously balanced hitting over the course of the weekend. I had the pleasure of being on the Saturday afternoon match against Robert Morris. Get to call kind of your final midweek match in a couple of weeks when you take on Purdue Fort Wayne on October the 29th. But Maya Long, Morgan Ostrowski, Elle, all great numbers in terms of kills, both Friday and Saturday. And the same could be said for Carly Doros, who will be our player guest coming up in the next segment of the show. She's got a unique story. She has played at 4 different institutions. You kind of know her from her days of going to Ohio. Tell about the process of bringing her to Indianapolis for her final year.
Yeah, I've been had the unique opportunity to recruit Carly to 2 different schools. I think it might have been her first call when she ended up in the process of going to Ohio as well. And yeah, so I knew kind of since I was in that process, like the plan there was, hey, we're going to get your 4 years in, and I knew she'd have a 5th year from her COVID season to start. And yeah, so it was kind of laid the groundwork early on. It's like, hey, if you want to play a 5th year, I think we got some cool stuff going on here. And so I think she was looking for a little bit of a different experience. Her first couple of stops were all college towns, and she was like, I think just, again, a 5th year is a cool experience to try something a little bit different. And so,
Sure.
so yeah, I thought it was a good fit, and I think she's brought again, when you're in your 5th year, you've played with 3 different groups. You're forced to figure out, hey, how do I make this team dynamic work?
Sure.
And it's been a different dynamic at each of her 4 stops. And so that experience, I think, has really played into her, really adding to what this team brings both on the court and off the court.
We'll talk to Carly coming up in the next segment of the show. Paul Corsaro, men's basketball coach, will join us in the final segment of the show. Let's talk about this week's opponent. You're about to head to Youngstown State. You'll take off tomorrow afternoon. Penguins right now currently last in the league. Just what do you expect from YSU this weekend?
I expect a lot of fight. I mean, we played this, so they have a new coach, but we played Youngstown twice last year. It was a 5-set battle here that we won. It was a tough 5-set battle in Youngstown that we lost. And so I think both sides, again, just from how competitive this matchup has been over the past couple of seasons, are going to really, really be fighting hard for this one. And so, yeah, they're a good team. They went 5 with Northern Kentucky, who's in the top half of the conference. They, like most teams during this time of the season, are battling with some injury issues, but yeah, we know it's gonna be a slugfest.
You're doing the absolute same, I know, at this point too, and I think 2 games out of the last conference playoff spot with 11 matches left to go, still a lot to be determined. And maybe you're on the back end of this, you can look at this as a benefit, or you got the bad luck of the draw. You got what apparently are the best 2 teams in the league the first 2 weeks out of the chute in terms of the defending champs in Wright State and then Milwaukee. Knowing those 2 are behind you, what does it mean for the rest of the conference season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we know that we have a lot of opportunity in front of us to find wins, right? I think, as tough as it is to say, I think we played very, very well against Wright State and came up just short in a couple of those sets, and then obviously the match on Saturday. But we played at a level that we know, hey, if we can match that, we can get a lot of wins, and we can get that spot in the Horizon League tournament. The next big step forward for us is turning that playing well at home into playing well on the road, because in non-conference we had a good win at Bellarmine, and so we've done some good things, but I think recently we didn't put our best foot forward when we played at Fort Wayne. Wasn't necessarily our best volleyball at Milwaukee, and so now I think we have a good opportunity this weekend to kind of flip the script and do well on the road.
Jags are on the road each of the next 2 weekends. They're at Youngstown State and at Oakland. Next time you can see them in the jungle will be that midweek match against Purdue-Fort Wayne. That is on Tuesday, October the 29th. If you cannot make it, again, the match is available to you on ESPN Plus with a first serve of 7 o'clock. Coach, thanks for the time. Congratulations on the weekend sweep, and good luck in Youngstown this weekend.
Thank you.
Carly Doros will be joining us next as you are watching the IU Indy Coaches Show live from Back 9 Golf and Entertainment right here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that's skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we rise, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Listen up, all you golf lovers. Looking for a private course for yourself or your company? Problem solved. Indy's Eastside Hidden Gym and Pete Dye's first 18-hole design is Maple Creek Golf and Country Club. Visit maplecreekgc.com today.
Again, we are live at Back 9 Golf Entertainment. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Greg Rakestraw, the IU Indy Coaches Show, presented in part by our friends at KeyBank and White River State Park. We are thrilled to be joined by a student athlete who is working on her master's in public health here at IU Indianapolis. It is Carly Doros. She is originally from Michigan, and she has spent the last couple of years at Ohio University. Before that was at Louisiana Tech. And before that was at South Alabama. So you have made the rounds. Welcome to Indianapolis.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, obviously I've had a pretty unique experience so far, but I definitely think it's helped me grow and figured out how to just adjust to new environments, and I think that's definitely helping me now that I'm in grad school.
I was going to say, I think you could start your own sports bar with your gear collection from 4 different schools. What's the collection like?
Yeah. Honestly, it's dwindled now. I've pretty much given what I've had to the past girls, but I have a good collection from here, and I'm really enjoying my time so far.
Well, good. Hopefully you'll hang on to that going forward. So, let's just talk about it again. You talked about how it's helped you, but my guess is, when you first started the thought of playing college volleyball 4 or 5 years ago, you weren't thinking about playing in 4 different spots. So when you look back at it, what's it been like to kind of bop around different campuses?
Yeah, definitely. This was not the plan that I had intended. I was getting recruited during COVID, so that was definitely a crazy time. I never really got to take any visits, so I kind of just went with my gut. Sometimes things just don't work out as you plan, and that happened a few times. But yeah, I finally made my way to Ohio, where I was there for my last 2 seasons, and I had a really great experience. I loved the girls. I loved the team. I mean, I loved the girls everywhere. That was really awesome for me. And then because of Ohio and Andrew, I was able to take my 5th year here and just kind of get one last hurrah.
Well, I know that Indianapolis is a far different place than Athens, Ohio, than Mobile, Alabama, than Ruston, Louisiana. So how has life in Indianapolis been treating you?
Oh, it is so awesome. Being able to go honestly down the street to Target, I've missed that so much. And just pretty much having any resource at my fingertips has been so great, especially now that I am in grad school. I'm going to be looking for jobs soon. I could definitely see myself staying here, working here. There's a ton of opportunities in public health. So honestly, this is just a perfect fit for athletics and academics.
All right, so basically you're going to be a 1-semester player here from the athletic standpoint. In terms of the degree program, how long will you be enrolled at IU Indianapolis?
The plan is 1.5 years.
Okay.
It is an accelerated program, so if things go well and I'm able to get through in a timely manner, it should just be this year and then 1 extra semester. So fingers crossed that works out.
Well, first of all, good luck with that. And obviously, one of the things you talk about with even an incoming freshman is time management skills. Now you get into a master's program. That kind of hits warp speed. Mm-hmm. So how are you balancing the academic load with what you're asked to do on the volleyball court?
Yeah, no, it was definitely another just adjustment, figuring out how to navigate through grad school and playing, but my professors have been awesome. They're super understanding. I haven't really had any issues with school so far. Granted, it's just the first half of the first semester, but if things keep this way, I shouldn't have really any issues, and I just have a few more months, so it's looking good.
The other thing, too, that I think is, and other leagues have done this, and we kind of picked this up maybe from the COVID example as well. For example, instead of having to go to Youngstown and then Youngstown come here, you'll play Youngstown twice this week, but you'll make one trip there and one trip back, and you really only miss a day of class if you have Friday classes. So that kind of change in the travel schedule, what has that meant for you and your teammates?
I think that's great. I actually think this year everyone was super lucky to not have any Friday classes, so it worked out perfectly. But I've always played on this schedule, and I really enjoy it. It's nice to just have to go one and done.
Right.
Definitely a little bit weird playing the same team back to back, but they're fresh in your memory for the next day, so I think that can be helpful as well.
All right, so that's kind of all the stuff around the court. How about the things on the court? How has this season been for you?
Yeah, honestly, this has just been a super fun and exciting season. We have a really great group of girls. They're super goofy. I love them a ton. And I think we definitely have a super young team, and it's just really awesome to see them grow game from game and practice to practice, and just what we're able to do together on the court as well as off the court it's just a really great last year.
I had the pleasure of being on the call on Saturday, and you were clicking early. You were blocking everything seemingly in that opening set. What was Saturday afternoon like for you?
Oh, it was a ton of fun. Normally after the games, like all the girls like to get together, hang out. It's just awesome. My parents were here, so it was nice to celebrate with them and just have them see such a great game from us. I think that was one of our best games of the season, so it's nice to see things start clicking more.
All right, literally this stuff flies. You have 5 more weeks of the regular season. Then you have the conference tournament. Hope when you qualify, you play like you did this weekend. I think that'll take care of itself. But again, you're looking at 6 more weeks of college volleyball, something you have been doing for a long time. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, honestly, I'm just trying to take it day by day. Definitely a little overwhelming when I think about it being done. I'm super grateful to even have a 5th year. So part of me is just like, well, if other circumstances had happened, I wouldn't even be here. So I'm just kind of grateful that I have one last go around. Just trying to make the most of it, really soak in all the memories and the experiences, and not think about the end too much.
Fair enough. Well, hey, I know, again, given your academic load, you're super busy. We'll let you get back to it. A pleasure to meet you, and best luck to you and your teammates the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Carly Doros, again, joining us. She hopefully has made her last stop in college volleyball her best here at IU Indianapolis. Our next guest kind of knows a thing about Youngstown State as well. He's actually a former Penguin. We're glad he's a Jaguar these days. It's men's basketball coach Paul Corsaro. He'll join us next as we wrap up this edition of the IU Indy Coaches Show right here on the ISC Sports Network.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that's skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
We're Citizens Energy Group, and we're here for you. We're your local utility provider and your neighbors. We take care of our customers while connecting to what matters. We are committed to providing safe, reliable services and making our community a better place to live. At Citizens Energy Group, we're all citizens.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Welcome back for the final time on the IU Indy Coaches Show for this installment. Now, we'll be back in 2 weeks on October the 30th, and a guy that will join us multiple times during the course of this show, which is brought to us by our friends at Key Bank and White River State Park, is the men's basketball coach at IU Indy and Paul Corsaro. Can you believe you are 19 days away from the season tipping off?
It's pretty surreal. You know, we had our inter-squad scrimmage this past Sunday, and even though that wasn't an actual game that counts, having refs there and, you know, people in the stands, you know, I had jitters that morning when I woke up, and the weather's turning, so you can kind of sense that the season's finally here.
You've been going all go and no quit for the last 6.5 months since you got this job. And, oh, by the way, have a little one at home at the exact same time. So while it's flown by in one sense, you have been all in for a long time. Just kind of your thoughts about the first 6 months on the job so far.
Yeah, I feel like I was walking into my office for the first time like yesterday. I can't
Right.
believe we're here, but it's been a whirlwind. It's been great. You know, we've had a lot of help. Really appreciative of the administration for all their help making it easier on our staff to transition. We've brought in some really good kids that are working hard and about the right stuff, and now we just got to go put it into action.
All right, what has the workouts been like in terms of, you know, full practice? Been going away now for a couple of weeks, but you put in some serious work with that group during the course of the off season. How are they looking at this point?
I like our progression. You know, we're getting better each day. We probably have less installed at this part of the season than I typically would, just because we have so many new faces.
Right.
And I think building chemistry and camaraderie is more important right now. And we want to be peaking at the right time as the season goes on, so I don't want to overwhelm them. But they're great attitude, great effort, which is, you know, they're playing incredibly hard. So all those intangible things that you don't even have a chance to have success if you don't have. We have that, you know, and they're doing a great job with that. You know, I was really pleased with our product in our inter squad on Sunday. Left feeling better than I thought I would going into it. So, and for me, that says a lot. Usually, I'm usually not happy with just. I find a way to not be happy about it. So, I think that's good. And you know, we have a couple other opportunities coming up that we'll see where we stack up, but I like the direction we're heading.
If you ask coaches, they'll all say generally the same things in terms of what builds a winner. Knowing you the way that I do, I think I can see through some of it. A couple things you always hang your hat on: conditioning / being in the weight room, and what you do defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So how are those elements of your program coming along at this point?
I'm happy with our defense. You know, we've actually, our strength coach, Alex Solar, has done a great job with our guys. I think we're pretty long across the board. We don't have, you know, we only have one or two giants, but we don't have any short guys either. I think we have good length across the board. We have big, tall wings, the 2, 3, and 4. So I thought we had good length, but when I saw us show up this summer, I wasn't sure, you know, if we had the muscle to go with it. We had some bulking up to do, and I think our bodies have changed. We've put a lot of time in the weight room, and, you know, that physicality needs to be a staple of our team. We need to be physical. Alex did a great job. Our guys have bought into that, and I think it's showing on the defensive end. So, yeah, we want to defend. We want to rebound the ball. We want to value the ball and protect it on offense.
All right, you've got 5 guys that have made the transition over with you from UIndy, 4 of those scholarship kids. I know you're going to take contributions from whoever can give you, but at least having the kids, you know, even if everybody is new to this program, there's 5 names that you know. What do you expect from kind of that group in terms of helping lead your team?
I mean, I think you said it, the word lead, you know, and that's both by example and vocally, and I think they've done a good job with that. I don't think they're a finished product in terms of what that looks like, because they weren't necessarily in the leadership roles with me in the past. Other guys were, but at the same time, they've embraced that. They know what's expected of them. I think the other guys are following. But the nice thing is about it this, like I said, we don't have as much installed as typical, but I guess if we're in a game situation and I feel like we need to do something they haven't practiced, I can just tell those 5, sub those 5 in and be like, hey, go do this, and they'll know what to do. So that's a positive.
So Paul Zielinskis, Jarvis Walker, Sean Craig, A.J. Hollabart, Julian Steinfeld. Those are the 5 guys that made the move.
I might do a mass sub one time if I just want to do something in the game that we haven't practiced, and they'll know what I'm doing.
There's also a couple of guys you coached against that now you are coaching for, that are playing for you. What's it like seeing those guys and knowing you don't have to scout against them this time around?
Well, especially Tamaris Brown. It's nice, you know, seeing him in, you know, our uniform. You know, he gave us fits when he was at Rockhurst. You know, he averaged about 15 points and 8 rebounds a game. He's a stud, and he looked really good for us in our inter squad on Sunday. So I'm really excited about his progression, and so I think he's the main one that I've coached against. I knew about some of these other guys too, just from being at the Division II level. But I think what you're going to see is we're going to play with we're going to probably play a 9 or 10 man rotation. Win with depth. I think we have really good depth on this team. I don't think there's a big drop off, when we go to our bench, which is I think going to put us in position to be real successful.
There are 2 local players, and those that watch ISC saw a lot of Keenan Garner and a lot of Ron Rutland III last year on our airwaves. Of course, Keenan was part of a state championship team at Fishers. It is getting tougher and tougher for true freshmen to come in and make an impact on a program. What sort of contribution do you expect from those 2 guys this year?
Well, I think our entire scholarship freshman class, when you look at it, let's talk about those 2 local guys and then Deshaun Good from West Virginia. I feel like we have guys that are college ready for all 3 of those guys right now to be successful, but also you talk about Jaguar fans being excited for the future. Like, those guys are going to play early in their career, and then how experienced they're going to be as it goes on. And I think they're going to be, they're the future of the program. They're ready to contribute now, but they will be the stars of the future as well. And I'm really excited about our freshmen. I thought our staff did a really good job in terms of bringing in a talented freshman class.
You've got 19 days. IU Columbus is your first opponent. That is an 11 a.m. game. It has become kind of the tradition to kind of get the shotgun start, so to speak, on the Division I basketball season. So your thoughts about tipping it off at 11 a.m. on a Monday?
Well, I'm going to have a lot of coffee that morning. I usually don't sleep that much anyways. I'm usually up by 4:30, but I might be up by 2 that morning because I'm going to be so excited. But probably have a pot of coffee by the time I get to the arena. We're going to be juiced, ready to go. I know our guys are ready to play and, play against somebody else. This is feels like it's been a long time coming, even though it feels like we just got here yesterday. I mean, we've been working hard. So we're just excited to get the season going. We don't pay attention to rankings or anything like that, but our expectation is to surprise a lot of people, and we're going to win, and we're going to show everybody that this is a new era, and it's something to get excited about.
Since Paul won't say it, I will. The polls came out yesterday in the conference, and the Jaguars picked to finish 10th. So I'm sure that's probably bulletin board material. My guess would be in the locker room.
I picked us first. I was the one vote that picked us first, and I'll come out and say it because I expect to win.
I like it. What you did win at, you're going to win a lot this year. You're going to win, which is why you're here. I have the utmost confidence in you. You did win Twitter/Facebook a few weeks ago. Whose idea was it to announce the schedule at St. Elmo's?
You got to give credit to Luke on that one. Our AD did a heck of a job. His team. Lauren, Emily, Ed, Steve, and Trey are videographers. They did a heck of a job too. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I was excited. I was just excited that I was going to get a St. Elmo's dinner afterwards.
Right.
So I was like, sure, I'll show up.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, it turned out awesome. Like, it was better than I even imagined, and it was great. We've got a lot of great pub from it, and we appreciate their partnership on it. I think it was really, really unique and cool for both parties.
And I think Julian Steinfeld won the challenge, correct? Didn't he motor through it like it was no big deal?
I did.
I mean, of the players.
I'm kidding. So
you and I are a little more experienced hands at this. I used to do a show like this one there, and I could eat them during the course of a break.
Julian was good, and people don't sleep on A.J. Holabar. He was pretty good at it as well.
We'll have an old man challenge at some point in time on there. Buddy, I'll see you in 19 days, if not sooner. Thank you.
Hey, thanks you.
Paul Corsaro, again, he is the head men's basketball coach at IU Indy, and that will wrap it up for this week's show. We'll do it again in 2 weeks, so make sure you join us on October the 30th. And again, just to note, that men's basketball game is one of 3 that will take place inside of the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Remaining home games are at the Jungle, so the Jags will make their home debut against Goshen on November the 12th. That'll be the first game back on campus in quite some time. For Paul, for Andrew, for Carly, and all those behind the scenes, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that's skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
We're Citizens Energy Group, and we're here for you. We're your local utility provider and your neighbors. We take care of our customers while connecting to what matters. We are committed to providing safe, reliable services and making our community a better place to live. At Citizens Energy Group, we're all citizens.
Listen up, all you golf lovers. Looking for a private course for yourself or your company? Problem solved. Indy's Eastside Hidden Gym and Pete Dye's first 18-hole design is Maple Creek Golf and Country Club. Visit maplecreekgc.com today.